Hey there, people. Our topic of discussion for today is about a passage. A passage I found in an ancient book that was hidden in a temple. This ancient book holds many descriptions of ancient civilizations. And by ancient book, I mean my English book, and by ancient civilization, I was talking about the industrial era. I was not even responsible for the finding of this passage, as it was my English teacher that instructed me to create this video. So, let us begin. The chosen passage that I'll be talking about today is a descriptive writing accounting the living conditions during the industrial age. I was also instructed to illustrate the description found in the passage, so try not to gouge your eyes out as you witness the cursed abominations that is my drawing. So, let us start by analyzing the origins of this passage. This passage was taken from the 10th book made by the well-known Victorian-era novelist Charles Dickens. The book itself portrays and criticizes the social and economic structure of the English society during the Victorian era. Now, I will explain to you the illustration I made from the descriptive references that were found in the short passage. I chose this as my illustration as in my opinion it perfectly portrays the Victorian era. As you can see, the buildings were completely covered by smoke and ashes from above. Everything is just oversaturated with smoke and pollution. The chimneys you see are a very crucial part of the illustration. Now, why you might ask? Well, during the Victorian era, there was this awesome revolution that you might know as the Industrial Revolution. It is a time when the Victorian engineers managed to harness the power of steam, and with this power they built bigger and more powerful factories. And as you know, bigger factories means bigger output, and a bigger output means more waste products were produced. And what's the best way to dispose of these waste products, you say? Well, that's through the chimney, of course. And soon, plenty of chimneys were built around the country, which led to an increased amount of pollution in the sky and surrounding, which in turn decreased the living conditions of the people around it, and which in turn again gave Charles Dickens his motivation to write this passage criticizing about this era, which is found by my English teacher that gave the whole class this project. Well. If that's not a domino effect, then I don't know what is. Now, let us head to the main discussion of this topic, and that's the descriptive shape that is found in this passage.
Look out! We are shapes!
Now, I should say that this passage contains all the descriptive shapes that was taught during my class. How, you may ask? Well, allow me to explain. First is the spatial shape. It's the element of describing the space of objects, like the height and width of a room, or directions and distance. An example of a spatial description in the passage could be found in the sentence, "The steam engine worked monotonously up and down," and the description, "tall chimneys." The second shape is about the temporal descriptive writing, and it's all about time and time-related things. An example of this is from the sentence, "who all went in and out in the same hours," and the sentence, "and to whom every day was the same as yesterday and tomorrow, and every year the counterpart of the last and next." The third and last shape is the concrete to abstract descriptive writing, which take effect throughout the whole passage. The first half is a concrete descriptive writing, as the author talks about sensory details such as ill-smelling dye and rattling and trembling all day long. While in the second half, the author talks about the ideas and his thoughts and criticism about the repetitiveness of living and working in the Victorian era. Now, to be honest with you guys, the writer really did an outstanding job on his description about the Industrial Revolution that was taking place in the Victorian era. He uses words that manage to capture the feeling of misery and repetitiveness, especially on the last sentence. The last sentence was just absolute perfection. He managed to find not only the perfect word, but also the placement of this said word to help the readers see and feel what he was feeling during the time of the Victorian era. It's as if he was bringing us back to time through the sheer power of word. And let's not forget about his imagery, as it is equally impressive. The Industrial Revolution on a basic descriptive writing was always depicted as boring and dull. It's filled with ash and smoke and is overall just a boring black and white place. Meanwhile, Charles Dickens managed to make this atmosphere more vivid, and it's very impressive really, because he managed to describe the boring black and white atmosphere of the Industrial Revolution into a much more diverse and vivid place by using different colors that you could see throughout the passage. And it takes skill for writers to convey their feeling towards the reader, and Charles Dickens managed to do it in just a short passage. And I would highly recommend you, the audience, to take your time to read his books, because if a short passage taken from the book could convey this myriad of feelings towards a dead person like me, imagine what the book could do to you guys. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I would give this passage a 10 out of 10 and would definitely get it again. Oh, and thanks for watching the video, and I'm out.